Welcome to the Art of Hobbiness. I am your co-host, Tamara, joined by my co-hostiest of co-hosts, Erin Shimoni.
Hey.
And today we are going to talk about Erin's hobby, which this time is piano.
That's
this
right.
is instrument number
That's
2
right. That's
for
right.
you.
I know. Kind of just went down that path. So.
I know. Okay, so what I really want to hear is it's 2 parts. One, your thoughts on the piano, and then 2, I want to do comparisons between
that's a good idea.
guitar and piano.
That's a great idea.
2 instruments back to back, and why you kept going down that musical industry and hobby life. I want to hear all of that. So first, why piano?
So, I think back to when I was thinking, I have always wanted to try a musical instrument, and I was kind of between the guitar and piano, and I ultimately started with the guitar because I felt like there was a little lower barrier to entry. My brother-in-law is a musician. I was able to get a guitar easily from him, and I thought that it's much more portable, so I thought that would be maybe easier to just start with. However, I've never done a string instrument, so it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, that learning curve. So in our previous episode, I talked about how I did that for about 8 weeks, and I felt like I got a good sense of that. I just don't think it's for me at this point in my life, but I might revisit it again in the future. But I'm happy that I did get some knowledge about that, and can appreciate it more. So kind of coming back to it, I know I still want to learn a musical instrument and learn more about music. So there's something that just draws me to that. And I like the idea of just being able to share that with my kids. And my husband has a little ukulele he plays, and they seem to get really into when we pull out like musical instruments, and we have a bunch of kid instruments, and it's just kind of a fun thing. So so I decided to go back to the piano and start looking at that. And you were TM was kind enough to let me borrow borrow a keyboard, which is awesome. So I didn't have to buy anything to start with. So it's a very basic keyboard,
I think it's like from the 80s.
But you know what? It's great. It's like giving me a very good sense of how piano works. I did when I was a kid. I did dabble a very, very short stint in my family. For some reason, had an organ, like a church organ in our house.
In your house? Are those like humongous?
No, it wasn't like a small one. So it actually looks a lot like a piano, just sounds different. It's more like that deep sound.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
So anyway, I do have memories of taking a few piano lessons, or organ lessons when I was younger. So I have a little sense of how that goes. Okay.
It translates pretty well between piano and organ?
I think similar keys and all that. But I don't remember most of it. It's not like riding a bike for me because it was so long ago, and I never got that good at it. However, a little bit of background. So, but I never learned to read music, and I still to this point don't understand that. However, I feel like the piano, I have enjoyed it a lot more than the guitar. Okay. Definitely.
What do you think stands out to you as the main reason why you're enjoying it more than guitar?
It is like physically a little bit easier.
I bet on your fingers.
Like on your fingers and on your positioning and everything. And for some reason, it mentally, like visually, makes more sense to me. Okay. When I'm like, I don't know. Like for some reason, the strings and stuff, frets and things on the guitar, I could never get. I always felt like it was backwards in my head or something. Oh, yeah. I don't know how to.
Oh, no, I think you're right. Because, like, aren't you with the guitar? Pat is like a professional guitarist, and I still don't know the answer to this. Yeah. But, like, don't you lead more, like, because you're right-handed, right?
Correct.
So then wouldn't you lead more with your left hand in the No, you read more with your right hand.
Well, you still use your right, but I always felt like the strings were upside down, and that was probably just a mental thing that because I'm not musical. But piano, it's like the letter, the chords or the notes are just in front of you, and they go in order, A, B, C, D, E. That just mentally, it just seems like more. I don't know. So.
She needed the alphabet. Yes. Well, look, whatever makes things easier, though, right? Because we're all about trying to help people find that low barrier to entry.
Absolutely.
And there you go.
Yes.
If you're considering piano, the alphabet's your partner.
So, and I think I took a little different strategy with it this time. I tried to be a little more relaxed, and maybe that's just been the benefit of us doing different hobbies with our, with our kids being around. When I started the guitar, I was like, I'm going to do it after they go to bed. I'm going to dedicate time when they're not around, so they're not interrupting me, because I felt like I really needed to focus.
Sure.
With this, I have brought the piano into, I put it in our living room, plugged it in. They've been banging on it. I hope they don't break it.
Again, it's like from the 80s. But, and I'm pretty sure we drew the alphabet on the
There are some, like, you can faintly see some of them, and that probably has been really helpful, too.
So, did you go back and fix the ones that are...
No, but it's been helpful just to have a few of them still on there. You know?
That's awesome.
So I took a little different approach, like letting it be kind of out in the open. And then I think it's a little easier to just jump on it and practice too versus the guitar. I don't know. I just felt like with the guitar, you had to get position and got to figure out where.
Oh, the posture. Okay.
Just a little more. So just try to be more relaxed about it with the kids being around and not getting so stressed about it. Like being perfect at it. So and
that's
I think,
great.
Yeah, that's been really good.
I think it's great that you gave yourself like a second chance of staying in the same like medium without like just taking that guitar, because I know guitars didn't go very well for you, right? Especially I had that rough start.
Yeah.
So I think it's like really admirable that you stayed in the same medium and just tried like another instrument to like, instead of just full-heartedly being like, nope, instruments are out, right? And I think most people would probably argue that piano is probably much easier to learn than guitar. Because, you know, you talk about your fingers, like, you know, with the fingers on the guitar, like, you know, you really have to dig in to hold those like strings down. Whereas piano, you can kind of be a little bit more delicate about that. Do you have long nails? You kind of have long nails.
They're not very long.
No, I just remember I used to have a friend who used to play piano, and she had longer nails, and I just remember loving the sound of her nails
the clicking. It's like ASMR. Or like
I was just all of a sudden remembering that clack, 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 and I'm like, oh, I kind of like that. Okay, so, you know, with going back to like guitar versus piano, this time was your goal to learn just one specific song, or was it just to learn basics? Like, how did you approach the piano in that sense?
Yeah, I guess with either of them, I never had a song in mind. It's just more about learning the basics in the positioning and just being able to follow along with some really basic melodies, you know. I ended up just getting an app. You know, I went through a couple of them, found one I really liked. It's called Musician piano app, and it seems to be, it's very user friendly. And, you know, it has a keyboard on the app that you go through and you try to match the sounds, the chords, and it tells you if you're wrong. Cool. It listens to you, so it tells you if they're wrong or right.
That's great.
And I've really enjoyed that just because it's easy. You know, you just turn it on, it's right in front of you. And it has a wide variety of music, and you can tell it your preferences on types of music and stuff. So that's been really helpful. And I can just sit down and do it for like 5 minutes. I don't have to commit, you know, a big chunk of time if I don't have it.
That's so smart.
Yeah, so that's been really helpful. So my goal, I guess, right now is just learning the chord, like the hand positioning, and you know, it starts you off by just doing one hand, and then it does both hands. And so I've kind of just started doing both hands, and because that's, you know, the next level is getting them to coordinate and
making sure it's all lining up.
Yes. And so I feel like that's, you know, it gets a little easier, and I'm making mistakes, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I think it's great that you're using an app. I actually, somebody just sent me an article about how hobby apps are starting to make like a real big surge.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
So we'll have to dive into that a little bit more in a future episode. But I think it's great that you found an app that was able to assist you. Did you?
It is amazing what there's out there now.
In addition to the app, I know with the guitar, you tried to do a teacher and that didn't go so well. Did you try a teacher with piano, or did you try to do just more
I
the
haven't
app central?
This time. So I've just been doing the app and like looking at YouTube videos and just online resources at this point. It seems a little, maybe with guitar, there's just more technique, but it seems like you can kind of teach yourself with the piano. I'm sure if you want to get really good, I'm sure there is lots of nuanced things to learn about. But at this point, I'm just going to stick with my own just for time's sake.
Oh, yeah.
Like that was always a struggle with the guitar too, was like carving that time out to drive to the lesson. And, you know, it was a good hour and a half of my whatever once a week that I was doing it. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're a busy mom and you've got a bazillion other things you want to do or need to do, it is hard to add that in. So, yeah, it's actually been pretty good just to do that on my own.
Isn't that so interesting how you talk about how it was literally only an hour and a half when I was weak.
Yeah.
But like even as a mom, like you found that so difficult to even find time for an hour and a half in your life.
Definitely.
It's but I almost feel like I'd be curious if you really thought deep down about it, that hour and a half, were you not connecting to guitar and therefore it just felt like another checkbox in your stuff that you have to do for the week or day, and that's why you're like, ugh, it's an hour and a half versus like something you were really excited about and would just be like, yeah, I get to spend an hour and a half doing
that's a good question. You know, that is probably more what was happening is it became like my to-do list.
Yeah.
And it was kind of earlier on in my trying a hobby, because I kind of started that, shortly after we started the podcast, because it was kind of, I just didn't really talk about it until I was farther along. But so I've learned a lot about it. I feel like I've learned a lot about myself, and I'm trying not to take the hobby so seriously. And at the time I was like, I need to learn the guitar. I want to learn it and be good at it and be able to play a whole song. And I don't see hobbies in the same way as much as I did when we started this.
That's great. Like, how do you see them differently? Can you give me an example?
Not as goal oriented. Like, I don't feel like I need to achieve something necessarily. I'm just trying it out for the experience, and I think every time we do something, it kind of teaches us something about ourselves.
It really does, yeah.
Or helps us just relax a little bit. I don't know.
Well, it's funny because not only is it teaching me about myself, but like you being my very best friend, right? Like, had we started this prior to this podcast, I've been like, I know everything about Erin.
Yeah.
But like, in doing this podcast, I'm actually realizing I don't know much about my very dear friend at all, because like, we talk on like personal levels and we get like into deeper conversations, but like, I feel like, as moms, you can get trapped in like just talking about like your home life and talking about like your work life and just the challenges and struggles that you feel there. And sure, we dabble into like some more like, deep dark web kind of stuff with each other. But I feel like we're learning like this creative sector of each other's side that not only did we not know about ourselves, but we didn't know about each other. And we're just kind of, I don't know, just learning together. Yeah. And I really like learning how and seeing how you have really are trying to fight your perfectionism and really trying to break that wall down so that you can be like this really open, creative person.
Thanks,
and I feel like you've made like leaps and bounds.
Thank you.
I really do. Like, even I know it seems minute to point out that you went from like guitar to piano, but I feel like that just shows your determination. You're such a determined person that even like you didn't let guitar get you down. Guitar's not going to bring you down in your desire to want to learn a musical instrument, and I think, you kept on that path, and you're just so inspiring with the way that you just don't give up. Like, you're
thanks,
just,
gosh.
You're just inspiring.
I appreciate that. It's when you're in, it doesn't feel like that, but I appreciate that from an outsider.
Yes, I was going to say, outsider looking in, Erin, like you really are. Like, I'm so fortunate to be doing this podcast with you because I feel like you really do put like a conscious effort into this, right? Like, you're not just kind of just willy-nilly in this podcast episodes and just fudging it the whole way with me, right? Like, I feel like you really are investing in it.
Yeah.
And investing in the podcast, you're also investing in yourself. And you're just kicking ass, man.
Thank you. It's funny you bring up the like perfectionism thing. One thing, I was practicing the piano and my husband Adam was in the other room, and he's like, I was like, what do you think, about me doing this? And he said, I think it's really awesome because it forces you to make mistakes and get through that. And because you make mistakes all the time when you're learning an instrument. I mean, anything new, but it's very blatantly obvious when you're playing a song and you get the wrong
for
note,
sure. Yeah. And the people can hear it, right? There's no hiding.
Exactly. And he was like, I think that's really good for you as a person. And I think that's true. So
I would agree.
He recognized that too.
Good
and
job.
I do too. So,
well, I think that's great to hear.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we usually kind of try to rate like our hobbies, right? So, we go off of engagement, enjoyment, skill development, social interaction, stress relief. How do you feel that piano plays in all of that?
Yeah, I think I would rate it. Probably 4 out of 5 at this point.
Wow.
The only, because I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to keep going.
Oh,
with
good.
It. Yeah, I really like it. I can see myself continuing to do it just here and there whenever I feel like, just that sounds like a good thing to do. The only thing I haven't tapped into is the community of pianists.
Oh, okay.
So I can't really speak to that. I don't know if that's a supportive community or if there are avenues as an adult to share piano with
that's interesting.
Each other.
You're right. Like, I
when
just
you're
picture.
A kid, when you're a kid, I know you can do performances and things like that. I don't know as an adult if there's something for that. I'm not
sure
looking to join a band or anything.
What? No, Erin, you're right. That's exactly what you should do. Oh my gosh, who could we find for you to start a band?
Oh my
with?
Calling
all band members. Anyone
I am so far away from that, but I mean that would be fun, right?
She would like to start off with the ABCs.
right, exactly.
Could you put a punk rock spin on it, please and thank you?
Can I just go ABC? Yes. Oh my gosh. So I don't know what could be like beyond just learning. I'm not sure what like else there's out there. I haven't explored that too much.
That's interesting.
So I should actually probably like just post some stuff to Threads or Reddit and see what's out there for adults, because I really don't know.
Yeah, because
that could take it to the next level if you could like share it with other people or be a part of something, you know. I
picture you like strapping the keyboard around your neck, not in like
being a marching band or something.
No, like, you know, in St. Charles during the holidays, they have the colors. I can see you just, you know, kind of banging out some jingle bells. I feel like that's a basic song everyone learns on the piano, right?
Put a little can out there, put some change in there. Come on, guys.
Can you be dressed in colonial attire, please?
Oh my gosh.
Where do you go with that? Because I just
know.
picture, you know, like you said, little kids sitting with the teacher and the teacher,
right.
you know, working through the songs with them, which I'm sure you can do as an adult, right?
Yeah.
But to your point, like I see how that you're like, dang, I don't want to be in that arena.
Right.
That's not how I want to learn. Right. So yeah, I'd be curious. I really think the answer is a band.
Yeah.
Didn't Newfound Glory just come to town? I feel like you should see. They're doing Disney songs right now.
Sure.
I feel like you could just be like,
they need
guys,
a female in their band.
By the way, I'm like this banging keyboardist.
Pretty
look
far
at my
away from
letters
that, but, you know.
on my keyboard.
Damn. Well, so to be determined. I'm going to look into that some more. Do a little research on that community aspect. But, you know, overall, good. Awesome.
Okay, so
highly
then
recommend.
You're keeping piano.
Yes.
So do you think, because your goal that you always wanted is you want to learn a musical instrument. Right. Do you think piano is the instrument?
I think so. I don't think, like, I'm going to stick with it for a while because I don't know what else. Like, those are the two at the top of my list. And, you know, now that I've tried them both, piano's definitely where I would want to go. I don't. Okay. Can't imagine. I don't know what else I would even want to try. I'm not a singer, so I know that that's not in my.
How do you know?
Wheelhouse.
Have you tried?
Yeah. You have not.
You have?
Well, no, but I mean, like, just I know I'm not a good singer. Like, I can hear it.
Are you sure? I can hear it. How do I put myself in a position to hear Erin sing when she doesn't know I'm listening?
Oh man,
this might up the level of our creep and our friendship, but I could probably figure out a way.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, have you really tried to sing though? Like, I feel like there's a difference between like bathroom acoustics and like you've given it an A+ effort.
Yes, I've never taken like music lessons, you know, singing lessons or anything like that.
Erin, we have forever to go in our podcasting life.
Sure,
and
you never
I feel
know
that I'm going to spend a very large amount of time trying to get you to sing for a hobby, because you know me, I don't let things go. I'm still upset about your starter baby.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably going to be something I'm going to hound you on.
It's something you're going to want to hear. So, but you know,
I beg to differ. I think I'm going to want to hear whether it's good or not.
Oh man. So anyways, I'm going to stick with piano for a while. And if anybody out there is looking to start an instrument, I highly recommend. I think it's a good place to start. Singer. And you know, the other thing I would recommend for like a new person thinking about starting the piano is, I actually had this idea to start piano like years ago.
Oh.
But I thought that I needed to go out and buy a specific type of piano to get started. Like I wanted the right equipment, and then there was always that barrier of like, how much you spend, what do you get? Like there's lots of different types of, do I get, you know, a digital one or, you know, not keyboard or, and I just never did it. I never pulled the plug or pulled,
it's scary to
I just never
invest in a whole piano
and just going and getting it, and like it just seemed like too
putting
much.
that in your house.
So, yeah.
Oh my God.
I think like this was the perfect way to start, and now I don't know. I feel like I'm just learning, like, just stop thinking about it and just go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when it comes to anything, if you have the intuition, it's in your brain, listen to that and go try it.
Just give it a shot.
Like,
what's the worst that can happen?
Right.
You know, I mean, I know we're as moms, we're trained to be, you know, perfectionists, but we're here to tell you that we're learning that it's kind of fun to mess up sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know,
it's good for us.
It's good for you. I feel like you learn in failure, right?
Yes.
Don't you?
Yes.
And I just feel like if we're just trying so hard to be perfectionists all the time, sure, we're, as you know, strong, independent women that we are, right? Like, we're going to be great at it, right? But like, do we really learn any lesson in that? Did we really learn about ourselves in that?
Right.
There's just not.
And you drive yourself a little crazy.
You can drive yourself mad, you know, and then you beat yourself up for like a small failure as opposed to trying to find that learning opportunity in it, you know? And so I think that, you know, just trying new hobbies kind of just helps you break that mold. And
definitely.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
I'm having fun failing.
Yeah,
my shins aren't having fun failing in my current hobby, but yes. Hobbies can be physically and mentally tough.
Yep.
But great along the way.
Yeah. So we hope you guys enjoyed this topic about piano and just hopefully inspired someone out there to just go out there and try something you've been thinking about doing.
Yeah.
Whether it's piano or anything else.
Anything else. Mm-hmm. And stay tuned for Erin as a backup singer in a future episode. Yes! Goodbye, everyone.
All right. Bye. Hope you enjoyed us next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Art of Hobbiness. Be sure to subscribe and leave a review. And for more Erin and TM fun, be sure to follow us on all socials for behind-the-scenes footage on our journey to find hobbiness.